Welcome to the sway world where peace is temporary and bad decisions are forever. If you're new here, hey girl, hey. My name is Mari Bayane, but you can call me Sway or you can call me Mari, but I prefer you call me Sway. If you're a returning subscriber, hey Sway. How have you been, girl? I hope you've been doing well because I have been consistent, okay? Today, I am not doing a story time, but I will be giving you guys advice. Basically, I asked questions on my socials and I got feedback and I thought, why not answer them here? You get what I mean? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new and you're interested in seeing more of me. Okay, don't forget to follow the socials. It is Marapanyane everywhere on TikTok, Facebook, as well as Instagram. It's the same. Okay, yeah, let's get into the video. Just so you'll know, I will be reading them off of this phone because, yeah. Anyways, let's get into the first question. How do I stop caring about people who clearly don't care about me? You just don't? Hello? I'm just playing. How do you stop caring about people that you clearly see that they don't care about you? It's obviously going to hurt, but one thing that I can advise you to do is admit to yourself that, damn, like, these people don't care about me and I actually care about them. And then do what? Move on. It's going to hurt in the beginning not having them in your life and finally like realizing that, damn, they actually did not care about me. But just move on from those people. Block, delete, cut people off, and just move on with your life. That's the best advice I can give you. How do you move on after being embarrassed publicly? You know, this happens a lot of times. It happens when you are drunk. And how you move on from that is you just have, again, like, you just have to accept the situation and move on, because people really don't care like you think. Hey, sometimes you embarrass yourself today and people move about their day. They might think about what you did like maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, but it's going to be like a thought, like a memory, and then they move on. You know, they're like, I remember that one fell when they were drunk. Oh, they were so blacked out drunk. And then they just move on from it. Like, maybe you fell in high school. Nobody's gonna care about that. I promise you, people don't care. We all have our own things going. Even I suffer from caring about certain moments where I embarrass myself and I can't get over them till date. But then when I think about it, there are some people that have embarrassed themselves in front of me until date. Shame. I really don't think about it. Like, I think about it today and then I just move on. Like, I think about it now today and then I just move on. And that's exactly how you should also think, that people are gonna think about it now and move on. Nobody's gonna sit there and dwell on what you did, even though your brain wires you like that. But you just need to like kind of be like, hey, I fell in front of everybody and that was hella embarrassing. Say it a lot of times so that your mind gets used to it. Stop running away from the thought. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. What's your biggest glow up lesson? Your biggest glow up lesson basically is just stay pretty. So stay pretty, man. Your biggest glow up lesson would be take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself, be clean, know how to dress. The biggest glow up that you'll ever receive is when you actually have money. Do you understand what I mean? Because I was not like this in high school, but for some reason after high school things just changed and now we're here. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I really don't know what to say, but like, there's just something that develops in you where you certainly now all of a sudden you know how to dress, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. But like, I have been a makeup enthusiast since high school, but it wasn't really that deep in high school, but now it is. You know what I mean? But also, like, if you want to know how to dress, go to Pinterest. You know what I mean? Like, go to Pinterest. Whenever you have an outfit, Pinterest will put it together for you, I promise you. Also, like, take care of your skin, take care of yourself, bath, you know, do your nails if you have to, get nice skincare if you have to. The skincare that I use is the Clicks skincare range, the vitamin C brightening activities one. There's the one with aloe vera, but the specific one that I use, the one with brightening activities, like, there's no lesson to this thing. You just grow into it, man. You just grow into it. You know what I mean? You just need to take care of yourself. That's basically it. Anyways, how do you tell if a man actually likes you or just likes attention? Listen, at my big age, that's what I'm going to tell you. Stop wasting your time with these advisors on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. Don't waste your time. You know when somebody likes you. People that like other people give attention as much as that person can be like, oh, I'm this kind of person. Trauma has taught me not to da da da. When you're in love, love blurs out a lot of things. When you're in love with somebody, you're not going to think that, damn, like I was abandoned as a child. Damn, I'm telling you, when you love somebody, you take your heart and you give it to them. So how do you tell if a person likes you? They obviously give you attention. They make time for you. They always ready to listen. And also when you're going through something, that person you can see that that person low-key feels what you're going through, and they make sure that you're okay. They always tell you about the little things. You know, they just do things to make you happy. You know what I mean? Vice versa, if you love somebody, you always want to make sure that that person is straight, that person is happy. You check up on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not rocket science. Don't waste your time on TikTok and what. It's really not that hard. How you love somebody obviously is not how they're gonna love you, but you know how you act when you love somebody, and that's exactly how people have to act. There is no formula to this thing. Hey, they will take, you know what, nah, I'm not even gonna give you advice. Like, you will just know. Because a person that doesn't text you and only texts you once a day tells you that they were busy, that person doesn't like you. You understand? A person that doesn't see you at least once or twice a week, that person doesn't like you. I understand that they're busy, but in a month there's 4 weeks. At least in that 4 weeks, they have to at least see you 2 or 3 times, or 4 times in that week. Every week they see you once at least. You know what I mean? If they're constantly busy, they don't text you, they don't check up on you, then they don't like you, bruh. Like, don't let, I know these people on TikTok will be like, if they're talking, sometimes you need to understand that people are always busy. Taking 2 days without speaking to you, that's not being busy. That's them not speaking to you because they have other people. What's a red flag people ignore too much? A red flag that people ignore too much. A red flag that I feel like people ignore too much is people that are disrespectful. Yeah. People that are disrespectful are a really huge red flag that you should not ignore. Like, even if they're disrespectful to another person, even if they're disrespectful to you, and you just accept that that's their character, oh my god, you are setting yourself up for disaster. And I'm talking friendship, I'm talking family relationships, I'm talking relationships as a whole. Like, disrespectful people, cut them off. I feel like people just like, oh, that person's just a straight talker. No, they are disrespectful. Because if you decide to turn around and become a straight talker to them, do you think that they're going to receive it how they expect you to receive their disrespect? You? Anyways, how do you guys stop comparing yourself to pretty girls online? Like I said in the glow up session, glow up lesson, sorry. If I used to compare myself to people online, especially in my high school days. And then I grew up and then I realized that everybody is pretty in their own way. Do you understand what I mean? Everybody is pretty in their own way. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To some people, I'm probably not attractive, which I don't care. I know I'm attractive and I believe that I'm attractive. Do you understand? So you have to believe that about yourself. You also have to have this thing whereby you tell yourself that she's pretty, but I'm pretty too. You know, she knows ball, but I know ball too. Not in a jealous manner now, whereby you have to put the other person down. No. You have to know that I am pretty, she's pretty, and I'm pretty as well. Basically, that's you not stopping to compare yourself to people online. You know what I mean? Like, she's pretty and I'm pretty too. Hello. Comparing yourself to people online is just a waste of time because people don't reveal their true selves online. You know, we reveal, as people that create content, I can definitely say we reveal whatever we want you to know. If I don't want you to know this, I will not share it online. You know, that person, you could literally be looking at that person and be like, damn, she's so pretty, she's got everything together. Whole time that person is the most depressed person that you will ever meet. Like, you sit down with them and they're just depressed. They are always nitpicking, like, oh, my nose, my ears, my this, my, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. What's the hardest truth you had to accept? The hardest truth that I had to accept, I think I'm still learning to accept this, is that not everybody's gonna choose you, and that's okay. You don't choose other people either. You know, I'm getting to a point where I feel like I'm not chosen, guys. When it comes to relationships, I've never had that problem whereby I felt the need to be validated by other people, but friendships, I'm laughing about this, but this is the saddest thing ever. And I think this thing is something that has gotten me really, really sad. But I need to get over the fact that I'm not chosen. Like I haven't been chosen in family relationships as well as um what do you call this, in friendships, and I'm learning to accept that. That's a story for another day, but I am trying to accept that, y'all. Anyways, how do you heal while still angry? There's something called the 5 stages of grief, and I feel like you cannot heal if you are still in the stage of anger. You need to get to a point where you're like, you know what, that person did this to me, and I accept that they hurt me, and then you move on. When you start to accept, that's when you are going to heal. But when it comes to anger, I don't think you can heal while you're still angry. The minute you start calming yourself down, that's when you start healing. Do you understand? What's something you wish girls understood earlier? Um, that it is okay to smell down there as a girl. I wish girls understood that BV as well as yeast infections are not things that you contract sexually. You know what I mean? When you start smelling fishy down there, you need antibiotics called Flagyl. I don't know if Flagyl is the only one, but that's the one that I've come across. When you start smelling fishy down there, just go get Flagyl. A lot of us are scared to go and get these kind of antibiotics or go to the clinic about this, because obviously older people, as soon as you talk about a smell down there, they automatically think, she's sleeping around. You know what I mean? They start telling you about boys and how boys sleep around, and they gave you that infection. And when you tell them, no, that's not how I got it, they either tell you the toilet theory story, that you got it from a toilet somewhere, but most of the time they're going to force you to accept that you're sleeping with boys when you're not. And that's why a lot of us keep quiet, and then we smell terrible, and then people start talking about girls like, she smells like fish, and it's not a cute scene. Let me tell you something. I used to contract BV a lot in my high school days, and I wasn't sleeping with boys. You understand? Every single time my menstrual cycle was about to start, my hormones obviously were not balanced, and when I tell you, yo, this grayish discharge would just shoot out, and it would stink so bad. Like, I would be able to close my legs and you wouldn't smell anything, but as soon as I go like this, and I was so scared to tell my mom about it, because now, you know, I obviously knew that she was gonna assume that I'm sleeping with boys, which I wasn't. And then the time that I finally spoke up, they gave me this cream with this applicator, and it just did not fit in. It was so uncomfortable. It was really so uncomfortable. And if parents were educated about this more, and young girls as well, you would just go to the doctor, get antibiotics, because that applicator. So if you smell like fish down there, or you smell like bread or like yogurt, and you see these chunks like cheese, or you see this discharge that smells really, really terrible, just go to the clinic, go to the doctor, get yourself antibiotics. I promise you, that thing is going to go away in 7 days, or even less than that. And if you go to a doctor that doesn't know the difference between BV and yeast, a yeast infection smells like yogurt or bread or yeast. You know how yeast smells when you mix it with water? That's how it smells. BV, on the other hand, smells like fish. And there are 2 antibiotics for these things. I don't know what the other one is, but they don't work. If you take Flagyl for yeast, it's not going to do anything. And if you take that antibiotic for yeast, it's not going to work for your BV. So you need to go to somebody that knows and understands these things, you know, and do your research. When they give you those antibiotics, do your research and see if it's going to work. And I promise you, I wish all girls could come to me, be like, damn, Mario, I have this. And then I take them to the doctor when I have money, and then we fix your problem. But then, yeah, that's what I wish girls would understand. Anyways, how do you know when a friendship is over? Okay, I'm gonna speak from personal experience. How I knew a friendship was over was when it's like a relationship. You know, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to tolerate this person anymore. This person is this person is that. I'm not doing it anymore. And that's just how I knew the friendship was over. They didn't have to do anything. You know, I just had to sit down and dissect, do I really want to be friends with a person that acts like this? And I ended that friendship. So how you know when a friendship is over is when you just don't want to invite that person anymore. You don't feel the need to confide in that person anymore. You don't want to talk to them. Like, when you see them, it's like you could turn around and just leave. It's like an ex that you just don't want to see anymore, you know. How do you deal with people secretly competing with you? Way. Yeah, I used to think that I am a very genuine person, that as much as I do certain things in life, like I'm willing to help other people out. But then I realized that no, man, like people compete with you either way. You know, there was a time where I prayed and I said, God, please reveal my enemies to me. And God revealed those people. And then when I started dissecting the dreams and obviously started asking people about the interpretations, people were telling me like, can't you see those people are trying to like slow down your progress and all of that? And it was crazy. And how I dealt with that was I cut those people off. I kind of restricted myself with those people. I stopped posting about things that I have not achieved yet. You understand? You know, like when it's time, when it's exam season and I'm writing my exams, I didn't say anything until I was done. You know, yeah, that's basically how I did it. Like, you just need to shield yourself from these people. You just need to just not say anything if you're doing something, because people that secretly compete with you, let me tell you something, they will compete with you in their brain as well as in their hearts. If you don't know, somebody can bewitch you using their hearts. You know, like you can buy a car and they are not happy for you. They will not go to a traditional healer to be with you, but because in their heart they're like, dang, like I'm so jealous, I wish they could lose that car. You know what I mean? So honestly speaking, how I deal with people that are secretly competing with me, I just don't say anything around them. Whether it be a small achievement, big achievement, I just don't say anything around them. I just keep quiet and let them find out on their own. They'll eventually realize this person does not really like me like that no more, you know? What's your advice for girls who feel behind in life? I don't have any advice because I am also a girl that feels like I don't really feel like I'm behind in life. I just wish God would give me the tools to just start doing things, because I have things that I have plans that I want to accomplish, but without the capital and the funds, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying so hard on social media. I'm trying so hard for social media to work out so that I can just start the things that I want to do. But for girls that feel like they're behind in life, I'm telling you now, in 10 to 15 years, when you've made it in life because you did not give up, keyword don't give up, you're not going to look at it. You know, how do I explain this? You can feel behind in life, but if your success story starts at 25, I promise you, when that success story comes at 25, you're not going to be thinking about the fact that, damn, like I thought I was behind. You know what I mean? In 10 to 15 years, those things won't matter. Listen, I have a doctor who I was sitting down with, and he's got really nice cars, German cars, babe. You know, he's got a GLE. And he told me that he went to school for 13 years and it was tough. And I was like, you know what? Those things don't matter. Like, look at where you are now. They just don't matter. You know, how you came up and all of that, hey, nobody cares. So if you feel like you're behind in life, like I also do sometimes, just remember that you are going to make it if you don't give up. Yeah. Keep on pushing, keep on working, have a plan for your life. You pray to God if you don't have one. Ask God for your purpose and ask God to walk you in that purpose. And I promise you, He will deliver, but it will be painful before it gets easy. So, yeah. How do you stop going back to toxic people? How do I stop going back to toxic people? I told you guys my method when it comes to people that are not good for me, whether it be friendships or relationships, I just cut them off. That's all the advice that I have for you. There's nothing like you go back to these people because you feel like these people love you. And honestly speaking, come on now, your friends always call you when they want somebody to drink alcohol with because they know you have the money and you're gonna buy. Just you just need to limit yourself to these people. The minute they ask you, hey Chomi, where are you? Oh, give them excuses. Oh, I can't come today. I need to do this. They'll eventually stop bothering you. They're never gonna invite you to things, and that's how you're gonna realize that those people really didn't care about you. So yeah. What screams low self-esteem without people realizing? You projecting your insecurities on other people. You know, when somebody does something wrong on the internet and you're just going off on them, just going off on them, that's what low self-esteem is. Because I can understand somebody does something wrong and you call them out for it, but you're constantly going at this person and just jabbing on them. Like, that's what screams low self-esteem. Because why are you on the internet talking about other people, just talking bad about people? Or somebody does something on TikTok and you realize that you're not getting the hate that you want. You take it to X or Twitter so that people can laugh and bully that person. That's what's low self-esteem. Because if you did not have low self-esteem, why are you sitting on the internet bullying other people? Do you understand what I mean? That's what screams low self-esteem to me. Or people that feel the need to just constantly be mean to other people. You know, sometimes I walk into a room and I never thought people do this until I experienced it. When you go into a room and somebody's just always mean to you, like they're just never nice to you. For what? It's because they're intimidated by you. But obviously, you're not going to see it in that moment and it's going to hurt. But people that are intimidated by you, they always try to squash you down, like just put you down. That's what screams low self-esteem. If you're always walking in a space and somebody's constantly mean to you, now you know they're very much intimidated by you and you don't understand why they're intimidated by you. It could be your boss and you're just like, I don't understand, this person is at a higher position than me, but at the end of the day, whether a person is your boss and you're just a worker and you probably need to work 5 times hard so that you can get to the level that they're at, but they're still intimidated by you and they treat you like rubbish, that's when you know low self-esteem. You know, because people that have high self-esteem don't feel threatened by other people because they know themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's something men do that secretly gives you the ick? When they ask me out when I'm tired, like, leave me alone. Especially when you're trying to ask me out and you see that I'm in a hurry and you're just there trying to ask for my number, like, just leave me alone, please. You know, I'm there to shop, not to shop for men. Leave me alone. There's a time and place where I'm just like, oh, today I'm for the boys. And then there's a day where I'm just like, leave me alone, bruh. Like, you see me rushing to a certain appointment and you're just there. Hey. Yeah. That's what gives me the ick. Like, just leave me alone, bruh. You know? How do you become more confident? Listen, don't believe that I am the most confident apple in the tree. But people always say like, oh my god, I love your confidence. And I'm like, what confidence? But to give off confidence, you need to fake it till you make it. Hello. You could literally feel intimidated in a room full of people. But if you show them that you're intimidated, they are going to feed off of that. But if you don't show them that you're intimidated, like moi, then, you know, it's gonna reek, oh my god, she's so confident, whole time you're not. You know what I mean? Nobody is 100% secure in themselves. You all have some sort of insecurity, but you need to just fake it, bruh. Like, you need to fake it. So if you want to be confident, you just need to fake it. Like, get in a room and act like you are that girl, like you are that shit. Like, you are the president in this room. That's basically it. You know, I don't think there's anybody that has 100% of confidence, but you need to believe in yourself. And if you don't, you still walk in that room like you believe in yourself. Like me, guys, my face, people, when I raise my face and I'm just walking quiet, people are like, oh my god, she looks so mean. Yeah, I look very mean, but I'm not mean. But it's like, I give that off and people, do you understand? Like, you just need to, walk like you are the president. Walk like there are 4 security guards that are accompanying you. Walk, baby, walk. And don't walk like this. Walk like this. You know what I mean? Because when you walk like this, we can tell that, damn, she's not confident. But when you walk like this, I'm telling you. Don't slouch, don't talk, like, don't lower your voice when you're talking to people. I understand you're shy, but talk. You know, like, you get to a supermarket, like, hey, can I please ask, where can I find this? Not, hi, can I please ask if you're not busy? No. Walk like you know yourself. Walk like you know your business, okay? What's the difference between confidence and attention seeking? A confident person, when you guys are in the room, they act the same. Like, when they see, when they're in a room full of people and when they're in a room with just the 2 of you, they act the same. But attention seekers, once they see a group of people, they start acting different. They start being loud. I hate people like that. You know, that's an attention seeker. Because why? Why were you not loud when it was just the 2 of us? Why are you changing characters when you see other people? That's an attention seeker. An attention seeker, when you guys are together, they are this person. When you're in front of other people, they are this other person that you don't know. You know what I mean? That's an attention seeker. A confident person, when you're together, they're this person. When you're with people, they're still that person. That's how you tell the difference. And I would definitely not hang out an attention seeker, because those people are very toxic, and those are the people that will land you in trouble and ruin things for you. Next thing you want, Mike. And then they realize that, no. If you take Mike, the attention is going to go off from them and they decide to pursue Mike first. You know what I mean? Like, they ask you, what outfit are you wearing? You tell them, and then they make sure that they do better than you because they are secretly competing with you. I stay away from people like that. What's one lesson Heartbreak taught you? One lesson that Heartbreak taught me is that you are not the exception. If you are dating a cheater, that person that cheats with you cheats on you will make you feel like you are the problem, like something is wrong with you, like you're probably not thin enough, you probably don't have an ass, like they will always, you feel like you're the problem, but in reality they are the problem because they are a cheater. You know, my psychologist once said to me, if you feel like your ex that cheated on you is not the problem and you're the problem, look at it like this: what if they cheated on you with 7 pretty girls and you are all built the same? Where were you gonna see the problem? Like, you got all the same, it's 7 of you. You see, you need to not look at the you and look at the problem. The problem is the cheater. That's one thing Heartbreak taught me, is that I am not the problem. Unless I cheated, I could probably be the problem, but if I didn't, like, yeah, that's what Heartbreak taught me. And also, like, you need to not look at yourself as the victim when it comes to the end of relationships. Sometimes you are the victim, but like, take accountability for certain things that happen in that relationship. Do you understand? That's what it taught me. How do you protect your peace without feeling guilty? How I protect my peace without feeling guilty is, if I can feel that you're somebody that's leeching off me, I simply just decrease, you know, the time that I spend with you. If I can see that you're a person that I cannot hang out with, every single time that you ask to see me or ask to do this with me, I always give you excuses. You will eventually catch on. That's how I protect my peace. Yeah, if I don't like you, I just block you and delete you. But I've recently found that that is not easy when you are in good terms with people and you guys are just still okay and there's nothing that happened between y'all. So what I do is just I decrease my availability to you. So yeah. What's your advice for people scared to start content creation? If your passion is content creation, just start. There is no advice to this thing, you know. It's not as easy as you think it is. It's actually very easy. Creating content is easy. Creating content for brands is what's not easy, but it's not that hard. But it's not easy and it's kind of time consuming. But if you want to start content creation and you feel like you're scared, just start, man. Just start and just do. You know, there is no advice to this thing, honestly. There is no advice. How do you stop missing somebody that's toxic? Oh, my dear. Toxic relationships are the ones that are going to have you missing that person for 365 days. But if you want to stop missing them, just stop. I'm just playing. There is no such thing as just stop. Honestly speaking, listen, heartbreak takes time to get over. You know, it's not something that's just going to magically disappear after 2 days. Unless you're not, if you're not emotionally attached to somebody, it takes like a day to get over them or a couple of hours. But if you're emotionally attached to somebody, it can take months or even years to get over that one person. But like, how you stop is one day, you're not going to decide, but one day you are going to just stop thinking about that person as a whole. Like, you're going to realize at 11 p.m. that, damn, like, I haven't thought about that person. And then the following day it just keeps on going and that person gets erased from your mind. That's just how it is. Anyways, what hurts more, betrayal or replacement? Betrayal. Replacement, come on now. I am a pretty girl. Like, you can replace me, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty too. I don't care who you replace me with. Like, I'm pretty too. And my prettiness is never going to stop. So, betrayal. The fact that you trusted that person, the fact that you thought that person would never, and they never, like, never before, that's what hurts the most. And that's what bruises your ego. Anyways, how do you know it's really over? Well, you know how? Like, I don't know, guys. When I know that it's really over in a certain relationship, my gut always tells me that, listen, it's over. Stop fighting it, stop fighting, stop this, stop that. It's over. That's how I know it's really over. Because when you block somebody, like, you know, they could come back after a few months, but when my gut tells me that it's over, I know it's really over. And me personally, I don't engage with my exes. Like, once it's over with my exes, I tend to delete their numbers and move on with my life, because I can't have them all. What am I doing talking to my ex and then also in another relationship? It didn't work the first time. Who you know, who said that it's gonna work the second time that that person comes back? You can't read a book twice and expect it to be different. Even the Bible doesn't change. You can change perspectives about that certain book, but it's not going to change. The ending's still going to be the same. If you read an exam paper from 2015 today, no, in 2015, if you read an exam paper from 2015, you read it in 2015 and you read it again today, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be different. Your perspectives on that paper might be different because guess what? You know, you've grown now and you've learned, but it's just going, the ending is the same. The ending is the same. So, yeah. Why do people come back after hurting you to see if you're still a fool? People come back because they are opportunists. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, ne? If I was a boy, I would be spinning the block on my exes. You understand? I would be spinning the block on my exes because why not? If you got, I have, as a girl, I have this ex that I know that any day, anytime I could text them and be like, hey, just wanted to talk and just call them, but they will come back. So I would use them basically. That person, I used to have this tendency of talking to them when I was bored and had no plan. And when a plan comes, that's when I used to stop talking to them. But now I've stopped. I've stopped completely. I've stopped completely. I don't do that anymore. But people come back after hurting you because they're just bored and they need you for that moment. And if you fall for it thinking that person is back and they've changed, I don't know. See why I tell you to stop listening to these people from TikTok that talk about advice and all of that. There was this lady that said if a man comes back after 27, then they are better and there's a high possibility that you guys could get married. That's rubbish. Anyways, don't fall for it. Go find somebody new. Get new Heartbreak, please. How does family trauma affect relationships later? You see, when it comes to family trauma, it family trauma honestly has a very big impact on how you view relationships. Some people say that if you had a present dad, then this is how you view relationships. If you did not have it, I can't answer on those things. But personally, how my family trauma has affected my relationships is that I don't easily trust people and it's hard for me to forgive people, so it does. The things that you experience in your family relationships are going to affect you in your relationship. Sometimes when you had an abusive parent, you tend to abuse your partners because relationships are the closest thing to the kind of love that you give to your family members, to your mother, to your father. And if your father or your mother was abusing you, or say for example your dad was abusing you and then you have a partner, men sometimes tend to beat their partner up because psychologically their brain is like, we are fighting back what that person used to do to us. Do you understand? So it does affect. I feel like if you have a lot of trauma, like go see a therapist, a psychologist before you get into a relationship, because I promise you, that trauma that you have is not only going to affect your partner, but it's going to affect your kids. If your mom was this way, you are going to turn out the exact same way. I know a lot of us don't believe that theory, but trust. If your mom was this kind of person towards you, you are going to adopt the same mentalities as her and you're going to treat your kids exactly like that. So I would suggest that you go get that checked out because they will affect you, man. They do. Can you love your family and still be hurt by them? Yes, you can. People that you love are going to disappoint you. People that you love are going to hurt you. So you just need to brace yourself for that. That is also something that I'm learning, but you just need to brace yourself for that. So yeah. What's something people with healthy families will never understand? People with healthy families will never understand that you can cut off your mother, your biological mother, or your biological father and stop talking to them completely. They never understand that concept. They're always like, that will always be your mother. Like, shut up. Yo, like you grew up with a loving mother, so you will never understand. Keep quiet. If you have never experienced a certain thing, just shut up and stop speaking for people that are experiencing things. That's one thing they'll never understand, shame. Or cutting off your child. Ooh, yeah. Let's not even get into that. How do you stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself? Other people are gonna choose themselves, so why are you not choosing yourself? And also, like, why are you not selfish with yourself? Why? You need to be selfish with yourself. Like, love yourself before anybody else. Because if you put other people first, disappointment will come knocking when you least expect it. I promise you. What happens when a child grows up without emotional safety? You guys are asking me serious questions. What happens when you grow up without emotional safety? you will grow up thinking that the world is like this and this is how you have to react to situations. So if your parents grew up without congratulating you for things, you always feel like when somebody congratulates you, it feels foreign. It feels like, why? There's no need to do that. And whereas people need to congratulate you because you did something good, you know, they're not necessarily need, but it's a form of like showing that, damn, like you really did that. And you will never understand that, you know. Me, guys, I don't trust people. I don't forgive people easily. I don't trust people. I'm somebody that forgives people, but now this is my forgiveness towards people. You do something. You do something. You That's exactly how I am. So, yeah, you know, growing up without emotional safety will ruin you. But you know what? Go to therapy for that. Go to therapy and fix that. Anyways, that is the end of the video, y'all. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you have come this far and you're a newbie, please make sure that you subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts and don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok, and it's Mari Bayana everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. Stay lit, stay bad, be gang till the next video, and I will see you next time on the next video. Also, guys, suggest what I can do for you guys, because I don't know what videos to record anymore, and I want to be consistent. Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.